All right, what's in this podcast? Another special episode here with David Lamont. And got a special guest in the building. Introduce yourself for the people, my friend.
What's up, y'all? My name is Jaims, and that's Jaims.
Dope. So, James, tell the people what you do, man.
Yeah, man. So, I'm a rapper. Make music for about a little over 10 years now. Grew up in Jersey, moved to Virginia. Also have a podcast as well.
Yeah, dope.
Production business, things of that nature. So, yeah, man.
That's dope.
Sure.
For the people at home don't really know, but it's the second time we're doing this. Technical difficulties. But this time, we're gonna try to dive in a little deeper since now I know a little bit more information than before.
For sure.
So you say you've been doing music for like 10 years. Mm-hmm. So what was your hardest year of the 10 years for music so far?
It probably was, probably at the midpoint, right? Because I think when you're an artist, you kind of get to that point like, okay, like, these streams are not going up. You feel what I'm saying? Like, people are not really playing it like that. So you kind of have to find something you love about it to keep going.
Right.
And I think over time I realized that music was an outlet. It was like a form of therapy for me.
Yeah.
It was really where I was able to express myself. And I think because of that, I was able to keep going.
Yeah.
And that was around the midpoint, but there was definitely a point in there where I was like, man, I don't know if this is really worth me to keep going because it just wasn't yielding the results that I wanted.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like we as musicians, we always get to that point where it's like, damn, like we're not getting like the money or like the fucking the people praising us for the work or some shit like that. So it's like we get discouraged and shit, but like I feel like the best thing that what makes an artist is pushing through all that shit, yo.
Yeah,
like
resiliency, definitely.
That's literally, I feel like, what makes like an artist that makes it and an artist that is still like struggling. I think the confidence to almost not even really like care what the outside. It's all inner. Like it's all inner thought.
1000%, bro. I think like you were saying, that determination, that resiliency, that makes the artist. You know what I'm saying? I think that comes out in the music as well. You can tell the difference between the ones who have that real hunger, that real resiliency, versus the ones who are just kind of just doing it for sure. Absolutely, bro.
So like, how do you like work with the people? Like I deal with a lot of battling of working with. Sometimes you find a person that's not really serious about the grind. So how do you differentiate those people, and do you work with people who aren't serious or things like that?
I mean, I love collaboration. You know what I mean? I think collaboration is necessary. I try not to worry too much about what's going on in someone else's head or what they got going on in terms of like what they take serious or not. I think that if we show up and we're working on something, then we finna go to work. You know what I mean? Like, and what happens after that and what you do with your own career, that's up to you. But when we partner on something, I'm a part of it. You feel what I'm saying? So like that's the energy and that's how this whole thing's gonna happen. But so yeah, I think whenever I show up and I'm present in moments. Yeah. And I try not to exist too much outside of that because people have their reasons for why they do and don't do things. So yeah.
So how do you feel like as an independent artist now? Like, do you charge people for your time, or is it something that is like something that you have to battle with? Like from when do you start charging people? You know what I'm saying? Things like that.
No, that's a good question, man. I think right now, bro, like. I think I could charge because I produce a really good product, but I need to network and I need like as low barrier as possible.
Right, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, man, for sure. Like I want to perform as much as I can. I want to feature as much as I can. And if I did a feature for 100, 150, 250, that would be a barrier that someone may not accept, right? And now that limits the amount of people that I'm working with, and I'm not at the point where I can just like risk an opportunity. You know
what I would say too, what that does is it automatically gives a venue or a person throwing a show a time to judge you, right? So now automatically they're going to go look at your followers, they're going to go look at like, man, let me, it's going to give them a reason to fucking hate, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I've had artists like throwing shows, they'd be like, yo, like I don't do nothing for less than $100.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel you, cause like yo, you
Right.
gotta have a price base and shit.
Right.
But then like at the same time, I'm like, I think that's to each his own.
Yeah.
Like so like I feel like it's two sides to it, pros and cons. The cons, you're gonna probably annihilate a whole side of venues that probably would have reached out to you because they, you're more easier person to work with, and you don't just be like, I'm not doing it unless I, you know what I'm saying? That comes off crazy, like.
Yeah, bro. And I think that it's also about building a portfolio. Because why are you charging me, like you just said, why are you charging me $100? Like, are you just throwing out a number because you think it's right?
Like you said that.
Yeah, right. Or,
I went to a class, right, recently in DC about 2 weeks ago, and they said the biggest thing for an artist is you gotta, why am I paying you?
Yeah.
So you have a whole list of a thing that you actually write out.
Yeah.
This is the things that I can do. This is roughly average how many people I could bring to your venue.
Exactly.
You gotta have a whole breakdown because like nobody's paying for nothing that they don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, bro. That's the key. You have to say. It has to be very quantifiable. Like, I can bring you this much money as soon as you book me. Like, it's guaranteed that these people will show up. This will happen. This will happen. And if you can't explain that clearly, then no one's going to pay you X amount. Because it has to make it's business. It's not. We're not feeling this out. Like, I need to know numbers, bro, so I can make this money back and then get a profit. So, yeah, for sure.
And throwing a show, like, in my experience, you're always like, you're automatically taking the leap because you're in the hole already,
off top,
starting in the hole. So, everything from there, you're in your head like, okay, I need to make money back. So like, I've done shows where I've been like, all right, I don't want to necessarily charge the artist to perform, but then I'm like, damn, like sometimes I'm gonna have to charge them to perform so we can do things, get more, be able to market and be able to do certain things because. Shit, like I mean, it's tough to throw shows now. It's tough to do, especially for hip hop. I think in this area, because we're in the area of Fredericksburg where it's like this area is more for rock, things like that, contemporary music, things.
It's a white crowd.
Yeah, that's plain and simple. It's a white crowd, so like they're not big on our style. So what I've gone through with throwing shows here is like. We'll have it rolling, have a weekly show rolling. Then something happens. It takes one thing to happen. Right. And then from there, like, well, Jamar, we like you. We really like you, man. We really like you. Yep. But those guys, man, I don't think. Man. Where it happens every time. So
bro, I'm a huge battle rap fan, and battle rap is a huge market, right? So, for example, I don't know if you're aware, but there's like the Ultimate Rap League and the Smack. Who runs that is the name of the leader of it, and they have these great events, but then it takes that one fight in the last battle, or someone bringing a gun and shooting something up, it's like, and it ruins it for years. Like they weren't able to be in New York for a time, yes, because of COVID, but they were like banned from certain venues because of fights and things that would happen. So if you think about it, like you hit it the nail on the head, bro. Like you really have to be careful about what you're allowing. Who you're allowing into your space and how you're planning everything, because sometimes things get crazy.
That's the one thing I think, because I always ask myself, like, why do I get into so much, why do I do so much stuff in music? But I think the biggest thing that I get from it is I understand all sides of the business now. So like when I'm an artist and I'm talking to a venue owner, I've been there. Like I know exactly what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? If I'm talking to a studio, been there, you know what I'm saying? I know what you're going. I'm talking to engineer. I got engineer. I know what you know what I'm saying. I know what you're going through. So like, just to understand, I think of like a lot of times as artists and as people in the music industry, we always look at ourselves, but we never look at the other person that we're doing business with. So like. To understand where they're coming from, you know what I'm saying? Like that's why I don't knock an artist that's like, yo, like my price is 100, because like I don't know what you're going through in your life, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't necessarily